What's up? What's up, YouTube? This your boy Scott Lewis, apartment gamer and more. Brooklyn Nets Stoop Edition. What's good? I've been on vacation for a little while, but I've been listening to everybody talk. So I got a lot of stuff on my mind, boy. Cam Thomas thing and the rest of the team, just the NBA in general. So anybody can join. Please join up. Glad to be back. But I listen to everybody talk, especially on X and YouTube, Breezy's page and Iceman's page. So I've been checking it out. The thing that's the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about was Cam Thomas, but I think everybody kind of talked out with the Cam Thomas thing. So my personal feeling is that he should have took that money, but took the contract. Should have took, because there's really nobody out there with money. So, and there's teams that can use a shooter. So he showed that he can score. So I don't see no reason why he wouldn't be in the NBA. I'm quite sure everybody feels the same way. Maybe not with the Nets. I don't know. You know how the NBA's business is. These teams and these owners, they like new stuff. That being said, Cam Thomas has a place in the NBA. So clearly, what gets me is how come everybody is so ready to get rid of somebody who can average over 20 points a game. I know he has, as far as defensively concerned, issues. Ain't nobody out there perfect. There's no player out there in the NBA right now, especially out there that you can get. Not right now. There's no superstar out there. There's nobody that's going to move this needle. So what's up, LB? How you been? LB, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's good, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm just listening to what you saying, trying to track both, like on the TV and on the phone. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So you
just
talking about Cam, huh?
Yeah. I've been away out of town for 2 weeks.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah.
why I haven't been showing up.
Does
And
New York sound and smell differently when you come back?
yes, it do. I missed the internet though, because where I was at, the internet was terrible.
Oh, okay.
But
You out of state?
yeah, I was out of state.
Oh,
Well, I
okay.
was actually upstate.
Oh, okay.
I went upstate. I went up to
Oh,
Niagara.
that explains it, right?
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
mountains and all that.
Yeah, all the mountains and stuff. I didn't
Yeah.
stay. I didn't stay at a hotel. I stayed with relatives and stuff. So
I feel so bad for all of these Cam people. Like I'm not gloating or anything.
yeah, I know that.
Even though like I
You
kind of
you
bought the
mentioned it.
narrative. I
Yeah,
kind of
you
bought that narrative a long time ago that his best role would be as
a 6 man.
as a two guard or a 6 man. But I mean,
Yeah,
obviously you don't just automatically make him a 6 man.
right. I know what you mean.
I mean he earned his chance to start, so you let him start, and then
See where it go from there.
hopefully
Yeah,
you start developing his replacement.
right. Yeah, I mean, we know how the NBA is. At least
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it plenty of times.
Man, I just got off the phone with a longtime friend, and I was like, man, we were just talking about the NBA and the Major League Baseball, and I was like, yeah, I still watch some of it, but I don't like it. I don't,
Yeah, yeah,
I really don't like the style, and that's a lot of the things that we were getting back to with the So I'm gonna bring this up now, just because you brought up Cam Thomas, but
right,
so part of the thing, because I know like some of them, like some of the diehards, like Breezy and some of them, shout outs to them,
right.
they kind of hurting right now, and like my thing is, where is Jordy in all of this?
Yeah, that's the key. I think that might be
Because
the key.
because because part of it was, I mean, we know the business is the business. So
Right,
you either settle the business or you don't.
right.
But the point is, since so many, it's like 90% of the markers that you would have on this, like people would look at this and 90% would say, well, it's obvious they don't think that he's a fit for them. They're not just trying to beat him out of a few million of dollars. They
No,
just
no.
don't think he's part of the Nets future.
Right.
It's easy to read the tea leaves and see it as that, whether
Yeah,
we want it to be that way or not.
yeah.
That's just
Mm-hmm.
how the tea leaves read.
Right,
But at the same time, even though we're saying that, we're also, like I'm also saying, well, at you know, maybe this time, like 10 months ago, no, is it 10 maybe 14 months ago, like when training camp started or whatever, that's when we heard him saying, well, I'm just trying to get him to be more efficient. I'm
right,
getting him to become efficient scorer and this and
right,
that, and just, tighten up some things on his game. So
right.
now, like, my thing now is, Jordy, did you give up on him? Is this because what it was interesting perspective because all of us have different angles that we come at, and and I'm like, some of us are more loyal and some of us are less loyal depending on like our conviction
Right,
for the certain thing. So I'm not a Jordy guy, but I'm not a Jordy hater either.
right, right, right,
I hate that we won so many games, but
right,
but other than that, but I also am the kind of person that I don't think that he can. I don't think that when people pass on all these accolades for him, which
right.
I gave him some props early for getting him to play hard and everything,
Yeah, he
but
improved a little bit. He
but
improved.
but I would say there's no way I'm gonna be saying, oh, he's this great coaching find because I have yet to see that yet,
Right,
you
right,
know? And I'm saying, that comes from over time and it really comes from winning or it comes from just being so good when you are losing that you can see it, even if you don't have the talent.
right.
Now, Nets fans, longtime Nets fans should be used to that because we've had a lot of teams that they weren't good, but you knew it wasn't really the coach. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
So I'm saying that to say now, my thing for the Cam Thomas people and Jordy is is Jordy supporting this player or not?
I'm tending to lean that he's not.
And this is all I can say. I know it's a thing between management and it's
Right,
between the player, right?
right, right,
I mean, so but you can still say, hopefully we'll get it resolved soon, and I look forward to having them back.
right,
But when you're not saying that, when you're not saying, well, hopefully we can resolve it, hopefully we'll all get on one page and we'll be back soon, rah, rah, rah.
right.
When you're not saying anything,
Yeah, that
to
means
me,
that tends to lean to you okay with what's going on.
and I'm saying I would think that as an outsider, and I would think that as Cam Thomas himself.
Yeah,
Now, what we don't have privy to is if he did speak to him at all.
right. We don't
But
know
I
that.
feel like he's such a. I feel like they look at him as so either loose cannon wise. They look at him as such an emotional loose cannon,
Right.
meaning Cam Thomas. That Jordy would probably be a fool to call him and say, "Look, on the low,
Right.
I'd love to have you back, but we just got to let him go through that." Because then he'd probably be afraid Cam would say, "He called me the other day and told me he wants me back." That happened to me before. That happened to
Yeah.
me before when we had they had them tests.
He
They had them
probably.
tests.
He probably.
That happened
Yeah.
to me before at my job when they had these tests, right?
Right.
And the
Yeah.
school was trying to tell the kids, you got to take these tests, and like how they have to opt
Yeah.
out and everything.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
told
Yeah.
them, I said, man, they said if we don't take these tests, we won't graduate. And I said, that's not true. I said, you know what? If you wanted to really not take the test and your parents read everything and they say you can opt out, they could
Right.
write an opt out letter. You don't have to take the test.
Right.
So
Exactly.
then I see them the day of the test and Scott, I'm like, what y'all doing in here? They said, the AP said we had to take the test. Yeah, they put our moms on the phone. They brought them up, and then they said, and we told them, said, Mr. Williams said we didn't have to take the test.
Right. Right. Right.
Oh
They'll throw you
man,
under the bus real
that
quick.
was my last year at that school, right?
Yeah. 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 They'll throw you under the bus.
Exactly. So I'm saying that to say, you never know what a loose emotional cannon will do. What an emotional
Yeah.
loose cannon will do. So you
Yeah.
don't want to have he has every right and like when they say that and that he didn't show this is another part of the character, this is part of the reason why we didn't re-sign
Right.
him because he said the fu to Zach Lowe and all that,
You
and it's
think that
like
really has anything to do with it? Really?
not at all,
Not
but
at all.
they always use that, and that's what I'm saying for him and for him, it's like he had every right to say that.
Right, because this
You
guy
called
is
me a
he's
ball hog. You
but
talking
and
about my character.
I think really what hurt him most with and it hurt me too when I read it was that you were saying that somebody else said. You're not speaking
Yeah.
for yourself. You speaking for the rest of them. And they
Mhm.
not saying anything, but you the one talking.
Yeah.
So you the local media. You the local paper.
Yeah.
So you putting the team under the bus or helping the team, whichever way the team, whichever way Sean wants to go with this.
You know what?
You
You
knew
know
he was
what?
going to lowball him anyway. Ain't nobody else out there with money. We knew that.
Yeah.
We knew
Yeah.
that.
Oh, so you're taking it. You sound similar to what I was saying in that if you would have just paid him. Now this is like contingent on the fact of whether he would accept it or not. But
Right.
if you would have paid him, say the 20 million
Right.
per, right?
Right.
If
He
you would
should
have
have
just
jumped
went
up.
ahead and did that,
He should have took it.
like no, I'm saying not only that, but I'm saying maybe they didn't offer it.
Right. Well, they offered him
But what I'm
something.
saying is, if they like, what I'm trying to understand from the Nets perspective, and this more importantly, Nets fans
Mm-hmm.
perspective, because that's who I really care about is
Me too.
Nets fans in terms of guys.
Right.
If we knew by the time they calculated all this money and they got all these other people signed, they still have between 18 and 22 million per year that they could sign Cam to, right?
Right.
So how come he just didn't offer him like a 3-year, $60 million deal and call it a day?
Right.
And so that's all the money that's out there. That's it. That or the qualifying offer,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
And then, and we'll make the third year your own option. So
Right.
we don't have to hold you to it.
Right.
Right. So now what I'm saying is we don't know that that didn't go down, and he turned it down. That's what
That's
we
right.
don't know.
There's a lot of things we don't know.
But it could have been reported as that if it had happened, right?
Right.
Because
It could have.
nobody has said, and that's so therefore I feel like if they would have offered him that, they would have gotten it out there to the media. Oh, well, we did offer him this and he turned it down.
That is true. They could have. They
So
could
because they have
easily.
their ways of getting in, it wouldn't have just been Zach Lowe. And the thing that messes me up is I like Zach Lowe. Well, prior to this episode, I
Right.
liked Zach Lowe because I pretty much thought of him when he was on ESPN as one of the few voices of reason who
Right.
and who seemed like a fair guy. But even when he's reporting this, it's like my thing is, but Zach, there's a thing like that you forgetting, and it just happened less than a year ago when you got laid the F off from ESPN.
Right.
A lot of people was like, yo, that's effed up. Yo, it's messed up. I'm sure I tweeted something like, yo, well, good luck or whatever.
Right.
But, so a lot of people came in and had his back,
Right.
right? And didn't that just happen over the winter or the
Yeah.
fall?
Not too long ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So when that happened, it's like, wow, okay. So now, because remember they were doing all that stuff. They brought in Shannon, they did whatever else, right? And look
Right.
what happened. Look at that now.
Right.
So, but what I'm saying is, but everybody was compassionate to him.
Right.
And this is what I'm saying. This is what he wasn't to Cam Thomas. He wasn't
Right.
compassionate.
Yeah. Well, to me, it sounded like he was bitter and like he
And,
wanted
and
he wanted to prove something.
who, Zach?
Yeah.
What do you think he wanted to prove?
That he can stir the pot.
Yeah.
Maybe, because he's always a nice guy.
Yeah, because he's I don't know who he's with, but maybe he's independent and he's
Right.
trying to latch on to something. Or
That's what I'm
like
thinking.
what you saying, that gets you the most likes.
Right. Exactly.
So this gets you on more broadcasts, right?
Right. Exactly. That's what
Come
I
on and
thought.
tell me.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Get you more retweets, right?
Right. Exactly.
So that's what I'm looking at, but it's like, so because that's the thing that I didn't like. It's not so much that he just said it about, because it could have been any other person, but I'm like, man, I thought it would have been better with you.
Right. Right. I was
And so
disappointed. I was disappointed with it.
and like I said, you got to be careful out there because these people are still people, and
Yeah.
they're still jobs, even though they
It's a
might
job.
have
It's a job.
more privileges or more resources or more
Right.
money than us.
Exactly. It's still a
It's
job.
like, yeah.
He cannot get paid. And in this situation right now, he is really tied up.
Yeah, and
So
we
I
don't
mean,
know, what his money is like.
we don't. We have
Maybe
no
he
clue.
invested in something. Maybe he got, stuff going on in his family or something.
My thing is, if you're gonna from a perspective from a New Yorker, from
Yeah.
Brooklyn, from New York, when you speak your mind, you really say what you have to say. Don't speak for nobody else. And I was disappointed with Lowe's comment. I really was. From that
That's what,
perspective.
what? That's probably 40% of what I say to people, like, and that's why I get on John's case all the time. Shout out to John. But
Right.
that's why I get on his case a lot of times, because you're quoting stuff, or you're saying this person is reporting this and this and this and that. But if they didn't say it, how do we know it?
Right.
So like,
Exactly.
even though you are attributing it to them,
Right.
after you attribute to them, then you say, well, maybe that's why, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, come on, man.
You can't do
Stop.
that. You shouldn't do that. But
You can't do that. And And that's the only thing that I'm saying. Like, cause it's like even it came up in the Cam Thomas situation. What's up, Ice?
What's up,
It came
Ice?
up in the
You know,
it came up in the Cam Thomas situation because the 30 million that he
Right.
wants, that Josh Giddey wants,
Right.
that maybe even Kaminga wants more.
Right.
But those figures that have been bandied about, I have not heard anything substantiate that this is what Cam Thomas wants. 30 million.
That's
no,
yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard
no,
anything from his agent. What you think, Ice?
no, no. They haven't said nothing exactly. They just saying that because
Because they
all
taking
three
old. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
they
Ice.
they saying that because all three of them dudes, including the one from Philly, all of them asked for 30, so they just assumed that Cam wanted 32 because he's in the same category. But I wasn't mad at Zach Lowe's take, bro, because that's what we. If you wasn't watching Cam fully, that's what you. The last thing you remember of Cam before he started passing the ball, that he was a ball hog. You know what I'm saying? Before, if you wasn't watching the Nets, you watch Cam, you say he don't move the ball, bro. He's shooting every shot. You know,
Right.
even the Barlow brothers say he there's a shot that there isn't a shot that Cam don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that's what they view him as. So I wouldn't be mad
Yeah,
at
I
Zach
guess.
because
Well, I'm
But
not saying. I think it's the timing of it. That's
right.
what I'm saying. It's the timing of it. Like like because the timing of it is
This
yo.
guy's in the
And
contract
I know
negotiation.
you're a reporter and that's your job, but this guy trying to get his money, and now you're gonna throw something else out into the universe. Like if you didn't tweet that, we wouldn't even be having this conversation now. We just be having the conversation of we hope they resolve it.
no, it'd be the
But
same thing. It'd be the
but no,
same
but I'm
thing.
saying, but it puts it out there in black and white that that people, the league thinks of him as a ball hog. Now you could be half of the teams out there and say, well, I never really looked at it like that. But if half of the league thinks he's like that, maybe I need to look at him as that. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying they
Yeah,
all got scouts. They all got their own scouting system and everything. So they all know.
yeah,
But I'm
but
just
that
saying, it just it for me, it was like it was something that I would probably have a little bit different. And he has integrity in his own way, is that he's reporting what was said. So I understand that. But my integrity would have went in a different direction and said, just because I know this, I ain't gotta report that.
no, he reported it and he gave his take. He
Yeah.
said if everybody would have, you know what I'm saying, listened a little minute or
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
couple
Go
minutes
ahead.
more, they would have heard
Hmm.
that I said that he's starting to pass the ball a little bit, but I still think he's a six man. He has a place in the league as a six man. And I think that's for Cam to open his eyes and say, maybe they not looking at me as such player. You know what I'm saying? And this is the money
Hmm.
because they looking at me like this. Now, how could I change this to be the other player that I am? You know what I mean? Like, not the player they see me as, but the player I see myself as. How can I change that? Maybe I do need to take, you know what I'm saying, what they're giving, or maybe I ask for a little bit more than that and work my way from there. You know what I mean?
But my thing was the whole thing was last year and the year before that, we knew what this team was going to be. We knew Cam, his growth was stymied by just a dysfunctional organization at the moment. Clearly, no coach, no clear projecting the projection on which way the team was going. Losing three superstars coming off the bench. I mean, winning and losing dictates whether how good you are, how fans see you, how organizations might see past it. If you look at the New York Times paper when they talked about the GMs mentioning Cam Thomas, half of them like him. They see him as a six man or somebody who's worth close to 30. So I mean, I don't see why you would say that at this moment in his contract negotiation for a team that you cover.
It's the biggest news. It's the
Right.
biggest news.
So then
That's
that
why.
means you really don't care about him or whether it's good for the team. Why would people cover teams that they don't like?
Oh, that's an age old question though. You know what? You could grow up being a Brooklyn Nets fan, and they say, "Hey, Scott, your assignment is you're covering the Knicks."
Right. Then it's a job. Yeah.
So then
That's
it's a
true.
job, you
That's
know.
true. Then it's a job. Yeah. Then it's a job. And that's that's the problem I have with the media here, the local media here. Only the fans speak what we really see.
But you know what?
We know
And I'm glad.
Cam is not, he has deficiencies. We know that.
But you know what?
He's definitely a
Yeah,
good player though.
yeah. But you know what you were just saying when you said the local media.
Yeah.
I don't consider Zach local media. I mean, he's a national star now. I
Yeah,
mean, we
yeah.
know him.
No. Yeah, that's
You
true.
know, and what I'm
That is
saying
true.
is, you know, it's sort of like, you know, what's funny? If you guys remember when we got by the time we got Harden,
Right.
we had Katie and we had Kyrie, and it was a she show or whatever. But then once we traded and we got Harden.
Right.
Remember they assigned that guy. Remember ESPN assigned that guy to our team. I'm trying
What
to
Yep.
was
think
I
his
of
know
his
name?
what you're
name.
talking about, the dude that we can't stand, and Kevin
Yeah,
Durant.
yeah. And now I think since he had went, I think last year he went over to the Lakers, right?
Right.
They shipped him out west to do his thing, like NBA insider so and so, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so they just take their people, and it's like a game to them.
Right.
So you know, and they're like, "Yo, see what dirt you could find on KD. See what dirt you could find on Harden. Go check the strip clubs, whatever, you know."
Right.
You know, and then they send those people out and
Right.
stuff. So and they do, you know, like their hatchet jobs. Because remember during the they had an infamous hatchet job by the time Kyrie didn't take the jab, and then we were all like sitting out because of the COVID and everything. Remember,
Right.
then they had the thing where remember that guy came in and he's like, I've been following the Nets ever since Katie and Kyrie signed, and then he had this whole thing that he dropped, some whole expose, and then like this is when everyone, you know, like when he's like, "Yo, nobody smokes as much weed as Kevin Durant," and blah blah blah, and he's always got. Remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that, Ice?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's about
Yeah,
it's a few
that
years
dude.
ago. There's a
Yeah,
younger dude who wrote the article, and then he's like, "Yo, Kevin Durant, he just smokes so much weed, and blah blah blah," you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I gotta admit, after that, like I didn't think about it before then, but ever since then, I'm like, yo, he's probably right, you know.
Yeah.
but
Yeah. He probably is right.
but the thing is, why do I need to know that to know about the stuff that's going on in the basketball?
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
From
Because
a
just like,
fan perspective,
yeah,
we
why do
we
I
don't
need to know
really.
that? It's like even if he had, or even because it's like even if Luca had a brew and he's off or whatever he's doing, and you're over you're at his mansion or whatever, why do I have to know? And then he sipped another his third brew or something like that. Why do I need to know that? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but that's what
So
I mean, I see the media is something else. But I get it. I get it. This is what the league want. So, but as far as Cam's money is concerned, I mean that was a low blow. And I think Cam took that to heart. That's why he said what he said. So
yeah,
yeah,
and he's
because half,
23. He's not 24 yet.
yeah, yeah.
yeah, because half of what Zach say is true, and half of what Cam say is true. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
know, he can't
Exactly.
be guarded. The dude showed proved that can't nobody guard him. And
Right.
then, you know what I'm saying? He do
You
get
know what?
double teamed. and
You
then
know what
they
it
and
is,
then
Ice?
go ahead,
You
Albio.
know what it is? Because like I'm not an apologist for Cam or nothing, and I'm not like his biggest fan either.
Right, right,
But
right.
I just look at it as, man, you freaking dogpiling on the rabbit, man. You just like you kicking the guy when he's down. You kicking the guy when he's down and stuff. It's like, come on, man. You ain't need to add all of that. I mean, I know you think you're from a journalistic perspective. Well, this is what it. I mean, but if nobody said, if he never wrote that, we would have still thought that. Those of us who
Who
watching
watch
up
him?
basketball. Now I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell you,
I'm a
maybe a
I'm a
Breezy or
fan. I'm a
someone
fan.
else wouldn't
So
look at it that way.
right, right, right,
But if Dylan is arguing about it, or if I'm saying, it needs to pass more or something,
right.
I mean, look, I said that about freaking Ron Harper's son, and he told me to shut up on Twitter.
Right. Yo,
So so I mean, but this is the guy himself. So it's like, come on, man. So I don't think it was a 23-year-old response. It was how a 23-year-old can respond when he can't say nothing else. But he also is like, you're taking bread out of somebody's, don't mess with their bread, man. Just report it. Just report and say they are what they are. I don't know,
yeah.
because I get what you're saying, Ice. You want him to maintain his journalistic integrity.
He got to, because if Cam starts to be show that should prove that he can do something, he might be the one that like first one to say like Cam is on some all star, and then you know what I'm saying. It
But
goes both ways.
okay. And here's
You
the
know what I mean?
irony. And here's the irony, because it's like everything that Zach printed about, his playing style or whatever, it's like it's nothing that I never said. It's nothing that I didn't say to Breezy before, or I didn't say to Dylan before. I didn't say to Gary and say, yeah, at best, man, if he stays around, he could be like instant offense coming off the bench, but he's not really that guy that some of us think he is. And that's what I said. That was my opinion, and it's still my opinion. He hasn't changed that much to me. He hasn't changed my opinion that so, but even though I think that, I'm saying that on this fan show, I'm saying this on this Stoop Edition, I'm saying this
Right.
on
On
X or something, but
right, right.
and also but I'm not a nationally known reporter, so when they ask me that, I don't know, it's just like, to me, that's what I think it is. I'm very defensive of him, even though I'm not like a big Cam Thomas fan. It's just like, come on, man, he didn't deserve that. That's where I'm coming from.
What you think, Ice?
No, I think he kind of did in a way, but not it, maybe like the way that you're saying it. But there's no other way to tell him, like, you know what I'm saying, for you to understand where you at, because no one's telling you where you at. You feel like you're the star. You want the 30, maybe 30 mil, maybe over 20, whatever. I don't know the money, but I'm just saying Cam feels like he's that guy, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
and then no one, if he's not listening to us a podcast, there's no one else telling him like, bro, this is exactly what they see you as. So if I put it out there for you to see, you may or may not like it, but I'm telling you, this is what they see you as, and this is what I view you as, a six man. So if they see you as a ball hog and I see you as a six man, where do you go from there? You know what I'm saying? How do your eyes get open? That's the way for your eyes to get open. But kind of like what Stephen A. be on some bullshit, but Stephen A. be saying stuff like that and say he try
yeah,
to tell the players in a way
yeah,
that he
yeah.
can.
Trying to
You know what I
help him.
mean?
Yeah.
Right,
Right,
right.
right. So
But
I
okay,
don't
but
know.
this is what I would say to you. This is what I would say to you in response to that. You, like, the Nets ain't telling you that. Like, they not directly telling you that. They might be indirectly, inclandestinely saying it to you, but they're not saying it to you outright that we don't think we think the best you are is a six man, and you got to change your ball hog ways and stuff, right? So they're not saying that officially to him,
Right.
but
Right.
what I'm saying is, but Zach, did you have to say, and half the league sees you the same way? It's like, couldn't you
Yeah.
just say, couldn't, now I'm saying, couldn't you just say, the league don't have no money for you,
Right.
and
Nah,
it's the
nah, no,
same
no.
result?
Nah, because that's not it. The league, if half the league see you as a ball hog, that tells you something about yourself. If you feel like
Oh
you're
no,
that guy,
no, 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 no. Macro wise, you're telling the truth. You're you're
right,
you're,
right.
you're overall trying to help him as Iceman the Eskimo. Yes, I understand it. You're telling him, you're whispering in his ear, yo, it ain't just me, yo. Step back a minute and look at this. Right? So that's what you're saying. But what I'm saying, as for Zach Lowe, it's like, is that your place to do that there?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Because you
saying. For
gotta know it's gonna
that,
take, because then someone like Scott might say, you gotta know that that's gonna make a guy like him respond, and maybe that's what you're looking for. You're just looking for a response.
no, I'm saying for Zach, that's what Zach is supposed to do, right? Because Zach is supposed to put it out there for you. For Cam, a young dude, feel like he a superstar or on his way to All Star, and you and me, you know what I'm saying, being Zach saying like half the league view you as a ball hog, my brother. Like that's you know what I'm saying. I'm telling you right now because if you want 30 and half the league see you as that, you're not going to get it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you right now, like you said, like if it was me, like Cam, you got to look at it right now. Half the league see you as a ball hog. No matter what you say back to me, that's what they see you as, and I'm reporting
Okay,
again.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know
That
what I'm
makes
saying?
sense. Now that
Right.
part,
Like
that part makes sense. No matter what you say back to me, this is how everyone sees you. All
right.
right, so I get that.
So
But
so
now my other
basically,
point with the 30 though, my other
yeah.
point with the 30 is the 30, I mean, do we know it's really 30, or is that something? Because let me say this. If they never put that number out there that is 30, right? Because as soon as they say, because some of those guys were taking reports that we used from last year. Oh, Cam is gonna probably get 4 years for 120 or something like that. So 30
Right.
million a
Right.
year. Like
We
that was
we
last
were
year at this
saying that.
time.
We were
That
saying
was
that.
last year at this time, right?
Yes.
So now, they're using those old reports and saying, well, Cam is expecting his 30 mil. And it's like, now, do you know that that's what they really put on the table and asked? Or, or go straight to the source, go straight to Marks and say, look, you don't think he's worth this? And, Marks will tell you, yo, the market has changed.
Yeah. I personally speaking, the NBA changed as far
Yes,
as, and this is being done by all teams.
it's collusion
Right. It's definitely being done by all owners, all GMs. Nobody wants to go over the market. Nobody wants to go into
over
these
the
over the
apron.
cap.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody wants to do that. Period. They don't care who you are. They really don't at this point.
Can
They
I,
look
can, go ahead.
good.
I wanted to add like 30 seconds to say, why I think, but that's the that's the deflection,
Right.
like the way our president does that. Look at this,
Yeah.
so you're not asking about that, right?
Right. Right. You're not focusing
I
on
think
what the money
I
is coming
think
from.
the reason that they doing that with the cap, with the this, with the that, is because remember the players get BRI, basketball related income, right?
Right.
But because they're called an entertainment um enterprise, right?
Right.
Betting doesn't fall under that.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So it could be that they want them to keep struggling, make you think these teams are struggling to stay under the cap, to be at the cap and this and that. So they got
Meanwhile,
to
the
get the
league is
salaries down and this and that.
Meanwhile,
But
the league is making
they're so
money.
much focused on, well, no, let's try to raise the cap. Let's open it up more. That they're not even thinking, the player's not even thinking about if you get 7 rebounds, 6 points, and 5 steals, and this guy hits his parlay. Do you know how much money the NBA is getting? Because they're
Right.
bet because we have a partnership with the NBA and stuff.
Yeah.
The players aren't into that money.
I see
Remember, the
what you
only
mean.
money they get is basketball related.
Right. Right.
So with that in mind, they might be, pushing all of this stuff because now it's only going to be superstars to get the money, right? Only the superstars get the money. Everybody else gets peanuts, and you just try to find a way to win.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
basically that's what it is.
basically,
Top
that's the way
heavy.
the league is. Yeah. What's
Yeah,
up,
top
Leaf?
heavy.
Yeah, and that's what happens. And that's what happens when you don't make enough rank and file players, representatives.
Now that's on the players' union
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Because then the stars take over. Chris Paul is looking out for the Chris Pauls.
right now. Yes.
Yeah,
Chris
you
Paul ain't
know.
looking out for nobody right now because he ain't the head of shit. Don't
That's
Well, he
nobody
right.
give a shit
signed
about that
already,
little
so
itty
he,
bitty
he
ass
got his
snitch,
deal.
bro.
He got his deal.
He got his
Yeah,
money.
yeah, nah, he got his deal money because he frontline with LeBron James. That's why.
Mm.
That's
Mm.
LeBron little man right there, man. That's why I don't fuck with him neither.
Well,
Shit.
who's the player rep now? What's his
CJ
name?
McCollum.
McCollum,
Nah, he
and
gone.
he's gone.
He-
Who? No,
So
he-
who
wait.
they replaced him with?
the dude in Houston, the point guard for Houston.
Oh, what's his name?
Van
From
Vliet?
Van Vliet.
Yeah, Van
Yes,
Fleet. Yeah,
yes, yes.
You
That's it.
serious?
yeah,
Van Vliet is a
Yes.
yeah,
crash out.
No, no. I
yeah,
saw. I
Van,
saw the
yeah.
article. He's it.
That's
He's it.
yeah. He's the new one. Van Fleet is the new one.
Van
Yes,
Vliet
he
is
is.
a whole crash out, bro. How did they really? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah. They pass that
Yeah.
around like a whore in the street.
That's a fact, bro. Van Vliet out here flipping off referees, bro. Like for real. That's another Napoleon ass nigga, bro. Like for real.
I thought he was
He definitely got the
if he
short
if
man
he took
syndrome, bro. I ain't
over
gonna lie
that,
to you.
he took over that to preserve that money he's making,
Oh,
That's a fact.
he
that
making pretty good
overpayment he's
too.
making
Yeah, he
now.
making a pretty penny now. He got a ring. He got a ring now. He running around like he the league. Out here cursing out refs and shit, bro. I'm like, yo, bro. Oh, that's why you think you big time.
Yeah, he big time now. He big
Yeah,
time
they
now.
gonna show you how big time you is too.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
because you turned down 4 years, 150 in Toronto, bro, don't make you the head honcho, nigga. Sit your ass down.
He won't get that
That's
again.
Shit. Nah, he ain't gonna get that again. But he is gonna keep getting on deals and as
Yeah,
long as he
as long as
as
he's a
long, as
player
long,
rep.
long as he doing that. Like the thing is, like all of these little itty bitty point guards, that's why all these niggas last a long time because they front line in the front office, man, and for the players association, bro, and they give a lot of niggas that's ahead of the league what they want.
Right, you
That's why
know.
James. That's why James Harden's still sticking around, getting 2 years, 80 something mil.
Yo, listen,
So,
it's just like any other job, Lee. It's just like any other union. It's like any other union. They do the same thing, man. They
yeah.
do the same thing.
That's why I don't mess with no damn union. Give me my money and move out my way.
Yeah,
I don't need
sure
no
money.
damn union.
Sure
Shit.
money is best money, right? The money you
Hey,
got in your hand. That's it. That's all you can count.
that's all right. It's cool, man. Shit.
No,
I don't
no,
need.
I'm good with it.
I don't need no nigga that. I don't need no nigga that in State Farm commercials, man. Out here putting glasses on, calling himself Cliff to help me get my cash, man. Tell that nigga to move out the way.
but what's
I don't
interesting
trust him no way, bro. Everybody know you a snitch.
since you just mentioned that, it's like also they're at the stage now where a lot of these players, a lot of the players based on their length of service time, um, and their salary cap position and draft position, they really don't need an agent to get them more money. You know what I mean? It's like
Right,
the money in years is pretty much set. So it's like really the framework is there so that you don't really need an agent to negotiate it. You
right.
know what I'm
You
saying?
already set on that certain amount, right?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, and I think that was part of the thing that I felt like that they were upset about with Ace Bailey.
Right.
was that he didn't pick a traditional agent. He picked somebody who's brand new to it, to represent him.
Right.
And they don't like stuff like that, especially when it's a black dude. So, you know what I
Right.
mean? When it's a
Yeah.
black agent.
A
So
black
I
agent.
think,
Right.
yeah, so that's what I'm thinking, that's part of what's going on now is a lot of these guys, because I forgot who it was. It was at least two prominent players, like maybe like all-star types. I can't remember who it was, but they had said, oh, I think Jalen Brown is one where they no longer have an agent.
Who Jalen Brown said that?
Yeah, I think maybe Jalen Brown's dad negotiated his deal, I think.
Oh, okay.
No, Jalen Brown did himself. He don't need. He
Oh,
don't
Oh,
he
need
he
did
one.
did
it.
it himself.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Because that's what I was thinking. There was a couple of, it was him and another person that, they're like, at this point, the money is the money. It's just, are you going to give it to me or not?
Now,
So,
now the question is,
That's a fact.
are those agents lawyers? Don't you have to be a lawyer or
Hell no, Rich
no,
Paul
no?
ain't
you
no
don't have
Oh,
to be
okay.
a
lawyer.
lawyer.
Okay. All right. Just ask.
Nah, you don't have to.
Yeah,
Okay.
nah, shit, you be a nigga off the street,
Oh, okay.
bro.
But
Have you seen Ace Bailey, agent, bro?
no, I haven't.
Yeah, right.
Well,
You
why?
ain't see that nigga?
No, I didn't see him yet.
That look
Well,
like a
how he
nigga. That
look?
look like a nigga that you just played dice with 2 years ago. Nigga running around with the Quincy AC beard and all that, bro. I'm like, I don't trust
Oh.
him. That's the reason why. This is the nigga that you the reason why he in Utah. You. I'm blaming solely you for this. You know why? Because you put yourself on IG and you tried to floss and you tried to get your shine on, bro. Now I'm blaming you. Everything that bad happened to this young man, your fault. You know why?
It's a
Because you
fault.
look suspect.
You look crazy, right?
Yeah, you looking real crazy. Out here in the driver's seat playing Hove, trying to floss. I'm like, nigga, don't sit your ass down. Tell me y'all saw that, bro. Ice, I know you saw it.
Well, yeah, I seen his. That's why I said he need a Rich Paul, bro. Messing
Yeah.
with that
I don't even.
dude
I don't
when he
even
put
think.
his
I don't
sauce
even
on
think he
him.
even need Rich Paul. Rich Paul days is numbered in this league.
Nah, man. To get where he wanted to go this time, he needed Rich, man.
He needed somebody that had
Yeah,
some
he
some
needed
Rich
connection.
Paul days is numbered in this league, bro. All them shit's gonna backfire.
Well, you think?
Because the second that LeBron stopped making the NBA money, bro, that's the
Oh,
second
okay.
that they done with everybody under the LeBron umbrella.
That's what I was getting
All
ready
these
to
niggas is
say.
gone. Everybody that got a job because of LeBron is gone.
Oh, maybe those scrubs, but not the guys
All
that are
of
good.
them.
I don't think so. I think that that's his ticket to staying into it. It's sort of like when Jordan left. Jordan picks who gets to be the jump man person.
Okay.
True. I
So
mean,
I'm
but but
saying,
but you
so
got to
when he's
remember
picking,
Jordan.
so when he's
But
picking them, he's not picking Darko Milicic over over
Right. Right.
Carmelo
Right. Right.
over
Anthony.
Right.
Carmelo Anthony. Yeah, I
You
understand
know
that,
what I'm
but
saying?
Jordan but by that time Jordan was basically printing money, bro. Like I mean, like come on, Nike couldn't move a candle unless Jordan moved something, moved like at least 5 billion in sneaker sales, bro. Like come
But
on, bro,
that's
they
what I'm
couldn't do nothing.
saying. But that's what I'm saying. He still has that vein to go through. He still has that pathway, to
Right.
go
Right. Right.
through to
Yeah,
get to players.
I
Jordan
could
Jordan
see.
So
definitely got it.
I could
yeah.
see LeBron having a team
I could see LeBron sharing a team.
or sharing a team. Either way.
Yeah, because they got to put they basically got to put the billionaire boys together. So
Right. Right.
because these teams today, bro, like cost minimum like nine bill. You know what I'm saying? So like you ain't just
You
putting no
just
new team
buying.
together,
Right.
bro, with all the money, all the earnings that you made in your life.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
I did read that article that someone had on freaking Joe Tsai.
Uh huh.
Is an article about, in the future of the owners or something like that, and Joe
Yeah.
Tsai and everything. And it was like, wow, I read that and I was like, man, this guy's really something. The way the article came out, it was
Uh huh.
almost like, well, he's a guy that I've said this in the past. Everybody ain't always about getting chips.
Right.
Sometimes people just want to make money,
Right.
That's
stay
a
low
fact.
and make money, right? So
Right.
That's a fact. I mean,
That sound more like where he's at.
Right, right,
that's a fact. I mean, especially when they don't got no easy pathway to it, bro. Like
right.
they don't got no easy pathway to winning, so they ain't gonna do it. Steve Ballmer, like the thing is, he don't like the. By the time Kawhi and James Harden call it quits, he ain't gonna
Yeah,
know what the hell to do. He think he can still throw
yeah.
money at the problem because that's what people with billions of dollars do. They
Right.
throw money at the problem.
Right, right, right.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's
Yeah.
saying?
not
So
it's
like,
not
I
that
mean, but
simple.
in a day and an era where the Lakers got sold for 10 bill and the Celtics got sold for 6 or 7. Like, how much you think some of these new franchises, the new Seattle SuperSonics and the new Vegas team, gonna cost? Minimum 8.5 bill with a B.
Especially in
Like, come on.
Nevada. Yeah, especially in Nevada.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially in Nevada. Nevada probably gonna want the most. They probably gonna want 12 billion, bro. Like, come on, bro. The gambling companies is eating off of sports right now. They basically in bed with the NBA, the NFL, MLB, all these other sports franchises and companies and all of these teams and all that. They gonna
They
they
don't
gonna want
have
they gonna want they breaks they gonna want they bread up front, bro. You better build a team.
and as I said, they don't share a dime with the players. So
They don't. They sure don't. They sure don't.
so
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why you got Gilbert Arenas and Marcus Morris getting lined up. Cause they out here trying to build their own casinos, man. Stupid. Thinking they can beat out Vegas, thinking that they bigger than Vegas. They could create their own version of Vegas in their own house. No, you can't. They gonna find you, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like we was talking about it the other night, bro. If you go to Vegas and you owe child support and you win and you owe $50,000 in child support, you win $100,000 and you mad because you walking out of there with only 50,000. That's because you owe child support. You got a W,
Right, right.
and you walking out with an extra 50,000. What you complaining about?
Yeah. Got no choice but to be happy. I know I
Exactly. You
would
paid
be.
that child support, bro, in a game of craps.
That's okay. Now you ain't gotta worry about it.
And you gotta worry about it. You good.
You good now.
Now they got
Ooh,
Uno in Vegas. You know how I don't even know
Uno.
how that's gonna go.
you
Uno.
know, whoever would look at it the way you first described it as, man, they taking my 50,000 of my 100K. You know, whoever would look at it like that, that sounds like some of our terminal Nets fans who's like,
Yeah.
everything's
They'll
gonna
cry
go
about the
wrong.
50 instead of being happy with
Yeah.
the 50,
Instead of
right?
being
Yeah.
happy with the 50, bro. Like I've been telling people, bro, I figured out a couple of years ago, there's a sickness going on in our organization, bro. There's a sickness and there's an obsession. The obsession, and you already know where it's coming. I ain't gonna say it, but everybody know where it's at. And the problem is we need to get rid of that obsession and figure out how we need to win games instead of just keep revolving around an obsession that's gonna continue to make us non-winners because it's not happening.
Yeah.
I know what it takes for this team to win because I ain't even mentioning roster reconstruction. I'll do it on my own page, and then then it all come true later, bro. I come back. Hashtag smartest on hashtag smartest in the room. I do it
Hashtag
that
smart.
way.
Hashtag smart.
Yes,
Smartest in the room.
I do it that way, bro. Like ain't no need for me to mention it because ain't no listen. You ain't gonna sideline with my idea. You know what I'm saying? Unless water turn into wine right away. And if it do, and some people got in their mind, if it do, they still ain't gonna listen because they got their mind made up. Cam Thomas got way too much sauce and way too much cuteness in his game for anybody that claim the Nets to go at him
Right.
to criticize him. It's
Right. Right.
bad. F the wins. It's about Cam Thomas.
Yeah. Well.
2024 ain't on my shirt, bro.
Well.
Black and white is on my shirt.
I have always been a Cam Thomas fan, but I understand basketball, and I understand that. And there's nobody after seeing Luca get traded, you should know.
You should
Ain't
know.
nobody. Everybody should know.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody can't be touched
That's a
at
No,
any
fact.
given
Scott.
time.
Scott.
This is an
I
entertainment.
don't. And the thing is, I don't want to use the Luca thing because the Luca thing
Scott.
was simply economics. I already
Yeah.
knew what that was.
Yeah. Go ahead,
That was
LB.
simply economics.
y-
But the
You got
fact of
me
the matter
thinking
is,
if Leaf was if Leaf was like if Leaf was like 30 years older, he be looking at Cam Thomas and saying, "You ain't world be free. Sit down, nigga."
Yeah, if I was 30 years old, that world be free. You should sit down. This thing stupid.
But to Leaf's
But
You know,
but
Leaf watched a lot of sports. Leaf watched a lot of sports.
I watch too much sports, and sometimes it's to my own detriment, bro. Because you can't tell people. We gotta tell somebody that's running the page, bro, that Cam Thomas can't he can't move from position to position, which is exactly what the five players that we drafted is can do.
Right,
well,
right,
you know what's interesting. You
Why
just
do why do
mentioned
why do
that,
I have to
and I
explain
know
to
there's a
why do I have to
guy,
explain to a grown ass man, bro, like what he can and can't do, bro? And you've been
but
watching for the last 3 years.
but
yeah,
there's
that's
a
true.
dude on X, a Nets fan named Jake. I think Jake Robe or something like that, or Rob or something like that, and he was saying
Yeah,
Cam Thomas is like uh, a mixture of Jalen Brunson and I'm trying to think of who else he said. He said someone else, and I'm like, nah, I think he said, did he say Bradley Beal or something like that? I
Right,
think
right.
Jalen Brunson and Bradley
Bradley
Beal, and I'm
Bill.
like, but I'm like, well, he can't he can't shoot, and he's not athletic like Bradley Beal, and then at the same time, he can't play the point. And
Exactly.
that was one of the biggest misfires. I mean,
Right.
unless they already knew, Scott,
Yeah,
Ice, that was one of the biggest misfires. As soon as we got Cam, as soon
Right.
as I seen him play the first time in that first summer league,
Uh
I
right.
huh.
said, you need to put him at the point and see how he can go.
Exactly. And
You
we
need to
find
do it now. And if it fails, so what? But you need to put him at the
and
point.
LB, I do it like a to be continued series. 5 years later, we found out that this nigga could do the same thing that he been doing. Score.
Yo,
What has changed?
He put the
Respectfully,
he put the SpongeBob up there. Five
for
years
real.
later.
Previously on Brooklyn Nets basketball,
he said 5 years later. Cam is
that shit's
shooting
still
that
going
bucket.
on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, if you ain't turning the corner,
Yo,
you ain't turning the corner.
did you see that clip with him and Draymond Green, and Draymond Green's
Yeah,
talking about when they was trying to trap him?
right.
Uh huh.
I saw that.
But the thing that they didn't understand is Draymond Green was like, "Yeah, and I'm trying to trap you, and I'm thinking you can't pass to anybody." And then this dude rise up and start shooting. I'm like, "Oh, right." But the point of the matter, the thing that is kind of lost on Cam is, but you still shooting.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and to his credit, you can get off a lot of shots that other guys cannot get off. But that doesn't mean that they're good shots.
right,
It just means you got it off. And I
right,
think he's still immature at finding that out, or he's still stubborn in not finding the difference between that and doing the right pass, you know?
Well,
Yes.
well. See,
And I told Breezy, hold on, I told Breezy, right after I
go
seen
ahead.
that, I said that Cam is boring. He's a boring player, bro. I said you go watch Cam highlights, all you see is jump shots for the most part. All you see is shooting, bro. Like he don't dunk on nobody unless he on a fast. He don't even attempt to dunk in the half court, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like if you listen to what Draymond told him, Draymond told him the right thing, bro. They gotta hate you to love you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make people hate you. And the way that you play is he boring. You know what I'm saying? Cam can score on anybody, but he's like LBL said too. He don't pass to help his teammates. He pass well. Like I said, he passed when he in trouble. And all he do is shoot jumpers, bro. Like, bro, do something else, bro. Like to Lee's point,
Listen,
do
look,
something
look,
else,
look, look.
bro.
I'm not here to downplay Cam Thomas play style and to just solely that. I'm here to let people know that what Cam Thomas is providing as a number one option is not working in terms of the main team success point. It's not. So when you bring up the numbers, bro, like listen, bro, like by this time, before this season starts, if Cam Thomas is on another team and he just so happened to be the best six man in the league, that's because we knew that was going to happen. It's certain things, bro, that we know it's gonna happen, bro. Like I could tell you for a fact that Cam Thomas, bro, when he was a sixth man, he was the best kept secret. The best kept secret, bro. The problem is the Brooklyn Net, our front office didn't value that. Now they're moving in a different direction in terms of guys that could move from the one to the two, to the two to the
Hmm.
three, to the four to the five. You know,
Hmm.
tweeners. You know, guys that that's what we
Hmm.
drafted.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what we drafted. We drafted guys that can move from spot to spot. You don't have to keep them at one different spot. And offensively, all of their skill sets connect. It connect with where we're trying to go offensively. Now, I strongly believe, and I'm gonna say that I said this right after the draft, and I'm gonna say it again. 1/3 of our team is complete. Now it's time to go get your athletes. Go get your your leapers and your hustle guys and your runners. You know, guys that could finish on the break, guys that could jump off of 1 foot. You know what I'm saying, and get right to the basket and play above the rim.
But my thing
That's
is, you
part two of
still,
this.
but
Part three of this, go get
you,
go finish with your dirty work guys
but you,
and your
you, you,
shooters.
you need somebody to demand a double team. So those those picks that they drafted, I don't know if they can ever demand a double team.
Nah, that's gonna be Cambuza or AJ.
It,
I
That's who
uh,
we
don't
got to
nah
shoot
I, nah
for.
nah. See, the thing is, I think what you need is players that can connect on one side of the
I,
ball.
I feel like I feel the this phrase I've been hearing so much,
right,
connectors.
right.
I feel like it's been overused and it's cliched now. You need a connector. I feel like what you're trying to say is a dude that don't f up the play when the ball goes to him. He doesn't turn into Alan Crab when the ball goes to him.
Basically, but yeah, but at the same, but LB, bro, as cliche as it may sound now, you're gonna see how true it is, bro. Once everybody is in tune, bro.
You know,
Once the ball movement as the team is in tune, I could tell you this for a
you know,
fact. Nolan Trayor, bro. When you got Nolan Trayor in the game, the ball is gonna move. When you got Danny Wolf in the game, the ball is gonna move. When you got Jaeger in the game, the ball is gonna move. You know what I'm saying?
well,
So like,
and it has to.
it
It
has to
has to.
because these dudes are willing passers.
Yeah.
They willing
But
passers
you
of where
see
they
the
came
thing that
from.
what's bugged out about what you just said. You said the ball's got to move, so you named three possible players who could be in at the same time, and the ball's moving. But you know what's crazy to me? Not that we don't have shooters. We're probably gonna let our best shooter go, right, Tyrese. But but the thing is, it's not about the shooters, but it's like, yeah, you saying we got to pass it, we got to pass it, but these guys can't. They haven't proven that they know what the most effective shots are, because like when you're playing with guys that where you're not relying on good shooting, then you got to get good shots. That's what I'm trying to say. And sometimes with these Euro style type of things, they'll be thinking, well, Yegor taking 8 3-point shots is better than us passing it into the guy that's like 4 feet from the basket and might get fouled.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying.
So it's a matter of, and that is speaking to the philosophy of old school versus modern versus what's happening now. But I'm saying at the same point is, if you trying to teach to be in the games, I don't want to see in that season where you just shooting up all kinds of threes with no chance to win. It's not about the winning, but it's like I don't want to see you just shooting like that, because that's the style that you want them to turn into, instead of just looking at what wins games.
Yeah, I can understand that. That makes sense.
I mean, if anything, what I like to see is, um I want to see them play harder than the other team, and I want to see them rebound and defend.
Well, I think
Everything
Jordy.
else,
Yeah, I think Jordy will have that happen. I mean, he seemed to. Well, they got a young enough team. He's going to run them. He's going to run run the shit out of them. They're going to wish.
If they do run 10 people at a time, like that's a philosophy that did help Indiana. That
Yes.
did help OKC. Because some
Yeah.
of them teams is just, they were just fatigued.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see.
And
I can
and
see the Nets playing that way.
I've always been a proponent of carrying, like if you got, even when you have 12 guys, have three of them be centers and have three of them be point guards.
Right. Right. This is going to be an
Just so you
interesting
know,
year. This is going to be
just so
so
even if
interesting.
the third one is a combo or something, but just so you know that because one of the things that used to kill us in this modern Brooklyn era is we never had enough dudes who could handle the ball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if this person goes out, because what's the name played like that half of his time here. Spencer Dinwiddie was like, "Well, I'm the only one who could dribble, so I'm gonna play. So ha ha, who
Right.
cares?"
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
He played a lot of his career like that. Like,
I think Jordy is the type of coach that he know what to do with guards. That's for sure.
well,
He
we got to get this guy to get stronger, start finishing, and he got to start, hitting some shots. I'm talking about Trayor, because
right.
I think he is already one of the fastest dudes in the league.
He sure look. He look like a blur.
Yeah, he definitely is,
I think
and
Iceman brought that
he's not
attention
short.
to me about him.
What's that?
Trior.
What's your
You said,
opinion on him?
oh, bro, I watched more film on him.
I
I
know
seen
you
some
did.
different films that's circling, bro. The dude, he looked just like Tony. He looked just like Tony Parker because he can shoot the mid range and
Right.
he can shoot the three ball. He in the summer league, he didn't get to do that because I think we running them different.
Right.
But when you watch film, there's two ways to look at him on the film. Is one, the team that he played for didn't have nobody, so it was just him. So they would set like three screens and let him get downhill every time unless they collapse on him, and then he'll kick out and he'll score most of the points. But then the other film I watched that he was getting downhill and he would stop on a dime and shoot the midi, like constantly,
Yeah,
like free throw line or a little bit closer. He has a floater, so he could do everything, bro. I
a,
didn't see nothing that he couldn't do offensively. You know what I mean?
a
And he
taller
is fast.
Tony, right?
Yeah, and he's faster than Ferris. He probably is one of the fastest guards in the league right now. You know what I'm saying?
And
But that's what he
one
looked
thing
like.
I was gonna say is that I also read somewhere, I don't know how true it is, it could have just been someone making it up, but they said like at least three of our guys, including Trayor, they were like fatigued because they had just finished their playoffs or whatever
Yeah, Ben
and
Saraf,
everything.
when he got drafted, he
Matter of fact, he
decided,
just went back, right? Like
yeah,
after
he
the summer league, he went back to play, I
not,
think.
I don't know, yeah, because his season was still going on. So
Yeah,
right when he got drafted, his season he decided to come over for the draft. But him and Asenge was playing, and I don't know if Trayor was still playing in that playoffs or
yeah,
whatever. But
got you.
yeah,
Yeah,
they were still playing,
yeah.
and they say he played like 60 games in that league he was
That's a
in.
lot.
That's a
That's
Yeah,
a
lot.
lot.
That is a lot.
yeah, they say he played like 60.
So
So they
he,
say him in summer league, he looked fatigued. He probably was fatigued playing the summer league. That's why he couldn't do everything he was trying to do.
oh, okay.
Yeah, because he's not a vertical guy, but he is a freaking side to side and north south guy.
Yeah,
Saying Trayor,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
he's
I like
not
Trey,
much
y'all.
into the jumping, but he definitely is fast, and
Oh
we
yeah,
need that.
definitely.
We need that. We need that. I think that's why we wanted Fear so bad because you wanted that one guy that when you put him in front of when he has the ball and he's in front of you, you're like, uh-oh, what am I gonna do? He's gonna jab step me and go by me, We
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
had a guy like that in a long time, man,
Yeah, no, no, not in a long time. Not in a long time. And you could tell that's what Jordy wants when he the way he coach.
Oh,
He puts a lot of emphasis on his point guard.
oh. Did you see that thing I sent y'all recently about Sam Cassell, right? It's just like a little highlight reel of Sam Cassell,
Yeah,
like back in his day, like scoring. And I think Baron Davis and someone else is talking about him, like about how effective Sam Cassell was, right?
right.
And then I was thinking about it. And what they kept mentioning was his post game, right? His post up game. And then I said, that's the difference with the NBA now, since they don't allow them really to post up and everything. That takes out a whole facet of the game that could have made a lot of these guards better. Because it's funny because I remember some of those early Nets games. Kyrie was posting people up and scoring on them.
Sure enough.
You
Kyrie
know,
do has a post game. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I'm saying. And it's like, it's so crazy now that all these guards are coming in. And because what's the name has a really good one too, Luca, right? Because he's
Yeah,
6'8" or whatever, 6'7.5" or whatever.
right.
But I'm just saying, it's funny because it's so rarely used. What's the name uses it? He used it in the finals, right? What's his name? Shea, right?
Shay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he has a post game.
And usually it turns into that turnaround jumper or something, right? So
Yeah, that fadeaway turn
yeah,
left,
yeah.
or
But
either he
but
turned
that's what
left or
I'm
right.
saying. When you master stuff like that, and that's what's crazy is if you could do that, if you could have that in your game, but then you could still find cutters
Right,
passing,
right,
it's like, man, it'd be hard to control you.
right.
Danny Wolf can do that. He operate like that.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
operated like that in college,
yeah,
basically.
Danny. He just
Yeah,
got
but
one
I
more.
remember a lot of turnovers in college.
Yes, he do.
Yeah,
He
yeah, yeah,
did. He
yeah.
did. He did.
Yep. He gotta get
So it's
control of that.
something. It's something. It's something. It's something you can't come in doing it in the NBA. It's like
No, you can't.
you gotta be conservative first.
Yeah, because turnovers is
Yeah,
really
you
detrimental to a
got, you
team.
got, you got to master it. He hasn't mastered it. He got it in his bag, but
Yeah,
he hasn't mastered
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's gonna have to because the speed of an NBA game is so much different. He's gonna
It's
have
way
to
faster, boy.
catch up to everything and then say, okay, maybe I can try this pocket
These
pass,
guys
this
are
and that.
faster and stronger than you think they are.
Because
So
Well,
otherwise they'll just eat him alive early.
yeah, yeah.
If he comes in trying to do all the okey doke stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. He found out in summer league. He tried to pull somebody up in summer league. He couldn't really move him. And the
right.
dude was small,
Yeah,
small. I was like, damn, bro, that's tough. In college, you could back him down easy.
yeah,
NBA, bro, like, nah, like, if you back me down, you gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? You gonna have to work to back me down, bro. I'm like, damn, Danny, you gonna have to muscle up, bro. You gonna have to give a day run. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It takes. I mean, it's going to take him. It's going to take all of them a while. I personally don't think that. I mean, these guys will get light on the court, but we're going to have veterans. We're going to have enough players on the team that these guys are going to be rotated in and out. Other
Well,
than
hopefully
maybe,
enough.
hopefully,
Because
they can. I don't. I really
because
don't
here's
know.
okay, so here's the mathematical question, right? When the game is you could develop these guys, or you could win a few more games with the veterans,
Right.
or you could develop the guys and lose a few more. Which one you taking, Jordy?
That's a good question.
Hey,
Be
look,
honest with you, don't lose for a draft pick. That shit don't work. I'm so disappointed. I don't like that losing
Yeah, I
to
know what
get
you're saying.
to get a
That
high
that is
pick.
that is that is me. That is me.
I just don't feel that's good for a team. I really don't.
Nah, but Jordy gonna do both. He gonna develop and he gonna try to win.
You
You know
can
what
do
I'm saying?
both.
I,
Well,
I
Yeah.
I
well,
think
you
you
can
can.
develop,
I
and
think you
you
can.
could teach. You know what's funny? It's like basketball is funny though because like it's different because like if in football you could just like not have no offense but
Right.
still be a great defense, and
And
then
win games.
even if you're like 4-12, people still respect the fact that they beat you 9-zip or something, or you know what
Yeah.
I mean, or
Cause
so it's like, or in baseball it's like you could just have a lot of good pitching and no hitting and be losing games 3-2, 4-3, and people will still respect, like, man, if only they had some
Yeah,
offense.
only if they had some hitting, right?
because
Yeah, so but I'm
it ain't
saying,
easy.
but in basketball, it seems like, you know what it is? I know what it is. It's because the transition. Like, see, in football, it's two different sets of players. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Right.
offense and the defense. In baseball, it isn't two different sets, but there's nothing they could do to score during the defensive time. You know what I mean? So it's not the same thing. Like in basketball, it's immediate. You make a mistake, everything is immediate because the person's going the other way and scoring with your ball,
Right, right, right.
So
Well, the
it makes it,
transition is much quicker. That's for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're not, so what I'm trying to say is you could have a bad defensive quarter in football. I mean, you could have, like, and then say, well, you know what, we could tighten it up now. But in basketball, it's harder to do that because like one leads to the other being bad.
Well, you have to play both as a player.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah. And
play
if you
both.
thinking about the shots you missed, instead of playing D, you're
Right,
gonna get burnt.
right, right. You have to play both. That's
Yeah.
what it is. With basketball, is more. It's those five players that's out there, and you gotta play defense and offense.
Yeah.
So it's on y'all five players out there now. You have a bench, yes, but it's the five players, and that's why I think winning as a team means it takes a team. It literally takes teams. It takes the players coming off the bench. It takes the coaching. It takes the ownership. It takes the front office. Everybody got to play their role. Shit got to play out. Certain people can't get hurt. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy to win in the NBA. So you can have a good player, and this is I hate to run this Cam Thomas thing. You got a great scorer, but he's not fitting what's going on here. And what in Brooklyn, it's not. It seemed like the ownership doesn't want Cam on the team. Really, I mean, he's not fitting what they want to do. Now that
Yeah.
might be on Jordy. That might
So
be on
what's the
Jordy.
next step?
I have no idea. I mean, Cam should have took the money in 2 years. 1 year and 1 year player option and let it go. Like
But
looking
no,
somebody
you
else
know
will
what
pick
it
you up.
is?
Cam will
But you
go
know what it is?
Cam will go somewhere else and be this great scorer, and that team is going to benefit from
But
it.
Scott, that the second year is the team option.
Right,
If they changed it to player option, he might sign.
right. That's they don't really want to let him go, do they?
That's what's weird. It's like, I understand you want everything under your favor, but then give him a third year then, you know, then
Yeah,
that way you can still trade him. but but he probably doesn't want to do 2 years at more than 2 years at 14.
Clearly, the Nets are looking to get a superstar. That's how I see it.
Nah, not yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet. Well, you
Nah.
think in
They
two
said,
years?
yeah, they said something about, I'm not sure if it was from the Nets per se, but someone was saying that I read that they want more veterans. They got so many young players, they wanted more veterans, and only Terrence Mann and MPJ is basically the veterans, you know what I'm saying,
Oh gosh,
for the
Right.
yes.
group.
I see when you say that, that's making me feel like that's coming from Jordy because he wants to win.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
Jordy wants to. I mean, it can't be easy on him to be losing. It can't be. You're not
Yo,
coming to coach a losing team.
I just
I,
saw another guy get, hold on. You got Utah, Will Hardy. He got an extension this this past year. And then this summer, Chauncey got one.
right.
And then somebody else just got one who oh, the Chicago guy
Oh, the coach at Chicago.
for finishing ninth, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So Billy Donovan.
Billy
So he
Donovan.
got one.
Right.
So what I'm saying is it's crazy that when you now juxtapose that against the last few guys fired.
Right.
And most of those guys fired either had winning records or or they won a championship or something. And they were proven coaches. And now, like look at the guy in Memphis. You got who else? There's a couple of more, right? Mike Brown. There's someone, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
Right.
it's it's fun. Like Mike Brown got Sacramento to the first playoffs in like what 13 or 15 years or something like that.
Something like that.
And look, like when you look at those guys, they all got fired. But these dudes, other than Billy Donovan finishing ninth, they all lost games and they all got extensions.
Yeah, it's being a coach is terrible.
So
Be-
I'm like thinking, even on the Nets, if you really want him to tank, then just give him the security. Just give him a couple of more years
Give him a four-year contract, right?
and say,
I,
look, this year you got to go all in and lose and you develop. Then
yeah, I think they will though, because the thing is, for him, it seems like they already given him that opportunity, because they didn't draft nobody that's like older, more mature, more ready. They went with all young, so I already think they're gonna extend them in due time,
oh,
because
you mean coach wise, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
coach
Coach
wise,
wise, he didn't get it.
they're gonna extend them to and they're gonna extend Jordy to take a longer process with this group to see what it turns out to, because his
Well, if
job,
they did that, yeah, if you're talking about like by training camp, right? Like between training camp and the beginning of the season.
whenever, I don't even know how long his contract is now, but whenever it's time to extend, he gonna get extended. You know what I'm saying? Because his job is to develop players. That's what his whole thing is, developing players. You know what I'm saying? And then now trying to win at the same time later on.
And
But
that's what I'm saying. It's funny. Like the irony for me is with um Kenny, I liked him as a developing coach. But when I go to the games and watch the games and everything, I'm like, this guy is a horrible coach when it comes to, substitution patterns. He lets freaking timeouts go too long. He's not keeping the ebb and flow of the game. And now he's what's the name is cooking, Levert or D'Lo is cooking, and he's
Right.
coming back with Spencer. You know, it's like so I didn't like his coaching. And then like when he like banned the midi because Levert was good at the midi, so was D'Lo. And then when he like kind of said, no, you gotta either go to the basket or shoot threes, then it's like I knew that was gonna clash once Kyrie and KD came in.
Right, right,
Once they
right.
seen him up close, I knew that that was going to happen. So I'm saying that to say that Jordy, you know, you know, I don't know what kind of coach he is going to be, but I'm saying like for the coaching thing, it don't go in the salary cap, so it don't even matter. It's only money,
Right.
right? It don't go in the salary cap. So I'm like, give him the extension and then tell him, yo, that extension is for finishing in the top three.
Do you
Worse.
think the Nets are mimicking what OKC did as far as
They're
develop?
not doing it correctly. If that's the case.
uh,
Not really. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's some of them. I just think the drafting they
You
pick
know what?
what we didn't have, and then they
Okay.
could find whatever else that we need later. I think that's the way they're doing
okay.
Now, you know what someone else would say?
What's that?
Yes, they're doing it just like OKC, but we're
it.
doing it, but we're doing it white.
We doing it the white way,
Yeah, exactly.
the Europe,
No,
the
no,
European
we don't
way.
want Shea Gilgis. No, we don't want Luke Dort.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They definitely drafted European players, but I think they play two spots. I think they drafted players that they're versatile. They can play in two positions at least. That's
Yeah,
how I.
there were
That's
other, there were other players in the draft like that, but they just chose the youngest ones.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just chose the youngest ones. But OKC, nah, man.
Oh, so
I just
what's your opinion of Seraph?
Sarab. I
Yeah.
never liked Sarab, bro. I never liked this
Me
game.
neither.
I
Me
know,
neither.
look, but here, I always say this about Sarab. I don't like this game, but the dude can play, right? There's something about his game that I don't like. I can't even tell you what it is, but there's something. But when you watch him, the
He's
dude,
funny.
Uh-huh.
he can get buckets, bro. You know what I'm saying? He can score. He got a little bit of a handle. He ain't got a deep bag or nothing. He got a little bit of handle. He can hit through with the pull up. He could create for himself. He could run point guard. He could run two guard. You know what I'm saying? He got game, but I just don't like him. You know what I'm saying? He's just one of those players that
Yeah.
I just don't like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I couldn't. I can't pinpoint how his game is. I really can't.
He doesn't look like an NBA player to me right now.
No, but he can be so
He
effective.
got the size.
He got the
He got the
size. That's what
size.
it is. I mean, when I look at him, I'm saying to myself, he looks small, but he doesn't play small.
But
And
you
then
know
I
what
No,
realized he's
I
not
was saying,
small.
I I was saying it's funny how perspectives are, because he is 4 years younger, right? Than when did Keon first play for us? 2 years ago or last year?
yeah, two
Right.
years,
2 years.
So
2 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
2 years ago when Keon was 21,
Right.
right? And
Yep.
now and Ben Saraf is 19. I was
Right.
gonna say, I was telling someone on Twitter, Ben Saraf didn't look as good as Keon Johnson did 2 years ago in summer league.
Mm, okay.
Nah, but I think he's the one going to the G League. I think once he gets down there, I think you're going to see a different Ben. I think you're going to see his game open up, and you're going to see exactly what I mean. Like the dude, he's going to be able to score. He's going to be able to give people a little hezzy crossovers, and you're going to like, oh, and he can get to the cup. Okay, but it's almost like something is missing from his game that's not there to put him. You know what I'm saying? Like what you're saying about Keon. Like he's there, but he's not there though at the same
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't tell you what it is, but I know. Like I said, I looked it up on Breezy's podcast. When he played U18s, he led the whole league in scoring. He averaged 31. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So he can get buckets, but I just don't know. I can't tell you what it is about the game that I don't like, bro.
Wouldn't it be ironic? Wouldn't it be ironic if it turned out to be a Cam Thomas problem of the ball sticks too much to his hand?
Nah,
You know,
he not
like
like
we didn't give Cam the money and now we got another ball hog.
that. Nah, he passes though. because he played with Noah Senge. He was throwing Noah lobs and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
He could pass the ball, but he also, if he needs to score, he can score too. But you know what I'm saying? It all depends with him. But it's just how it looks. You know what I'm saying? When you
Yeah, it
watch it,
looks
it's how it
awkward.
looks. Yeah,
Yeah,
it just don't
Definitely
look
looks in
right.
slow motion.
yeah,
Like, yo, I don't know what it is.
yeah. You brought that up to me, Ice, and I looked at his game and I was like, I don't even know what the hell I'm looking at. But I know one thing: he was scoring. He was scoring, though. I said, "Damn."
He's a
Damn.
scorer, huh?
Yeah, he's a
But
scorer, but it's just that his game is weird. His game is weird. But
we're
he,
gonna have to see what they're gonna do, man.
yeah, yeah. I
But
don't,
yeah, but a lot of this has to fall on. Well, you know what? We can remain silent and keep his job, Jordy.
Jody. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if I'm Cam, I'm looking at him like, yo, coach, you ain't gonna say nothing. You only got
Well, like
crickets
you
for a
said
brother.
earlier, he might have said something. So we don't know that. There's a lot of things we don't know. I mean, that's the thing that get me with a lot of Net fans. We talking, but we don't know. We really don't know. There could be a lot of talking behind the scenes with Cam Thomas, and it could be money, but I don't see the Nets going into no apron for him. So that's not going
They
to
don't have
happen,
to.
right? They don't have
They don't
to,
have to. They don't have to.
right?
They
So
could still give him 20 mil, and they don't have to go into it.
right. So I mean,
But you know what it is? You know what probably is unnerving for some Nets fans? Not even the Cam Thomas fans, but the other Nets fans. Say like the anti-Marks fans, right?
right, which is a lot,
Because because it's probably like a third is Cam Thomas, a third is anti-Marks, and the third just love the Nets no matter what, right?
right?
So I'm thinking the Marks faction, the anti-Marks faction, um, they probably thinking, man, if Cam Thomas doesn't sign,
It's his
it's a
fault.
good thing it's a good thing for us.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know, I'm just thinking because uh I'm just thinking because they're gonna always blame everything on Marks.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna take the blame.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna definitely
And
take the
and I
blame.
blame a lot of stuff on Marks myself,
Well, he did.
but
But it
what they're
was
gonna look at is what they're gonna say is if he doesn't do this, it's gonna lead to him. It's gonna be like you blew it. Cause I always look at it as if you would have signed him early for like whatever the market rate is,
right.
you can convince a team after he's averaged like 24 for you
Right.
in a tanking year, you're gonna be able to find some people who will say, "Oh, I'll take that 24 for 75 games. Yeah, I'll take
Right.
that."
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And
true.
you'll be able to trade him. But
Right.
but when you yourself as the team that's his team devalues him so much, you're actually hurting. You're the one plummeting his value, not
Right.
his play.
That's the part. That's
He
the
only
part.
played he only played in 25 games.
Right.
You can only see so much bad in 25 games. So but by y'all refusing to pay him and stick by him and everything, you're telling all the rest of the league, we think he sucks too.
Yeah. I mean, you could look at it that way. I also can look at it this way. Sean has never been conventional about how he do things. So he might be saying nobody is going to want you but us. And I know what you are. I know exactly what you are, and you can fit. We just going to devalue you because we're not
Wow.
trying to spend no money. We're not
Wow.
going into the apron. We're going to keep ourselves flexible. Keep
You
ourselves.
sound you sound like you straight out of the Mac, man.
Oh
Like you
yeah,
pimping 101 or something.
yeah. Well, hey, listen,
Ain't
that's what.
nobody else want you, girl. I
Ain't nobody
saved you
else
from
want
the
you.
streets.
Yeah, I got
I
you.
saved
I
you from
brung you
these
here.
streets.
Well, that's how. Well, Sean did draft him.
Cam, get on that stroll.
Sean did draft him. Sean
Yeah.
drafted him. He probably saying, you know what? A lot of people think that you you don't have this in you. You know,
You
this game, that's all you can do is shoot and maybe play a little bit. But we watched him
you
develop. So
you went full Orange Juice Jones on him.
yeah.
Without me, you ain't nothing but cornflake without the milk.
There you go.
Yeah, I did. Well, he did pimp him. He pimping him. He
Yeah,
definitely pimping him now because, like I said, no other team has the cap space. They ain't trying to change anything on their team to get him. So
yeah, that's crazy.
he stuck.
Yeah,
He stuck.
I think he might get offered a little more. I think
I
I
think
think
so too.
because of Kaminga and Josh Giddey got offered 20, but they still not taking it. I think the net if they was to sign that, I think he would get bumped up a little bit more from 14 because nobody's offering nothing and
Right.
nobody's signing nothing. I think that's why he's still holding out. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
I say 6 mil from 14 to 26 mil. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't
that's
seem like
good.
a lot, but yeah, it's a lot though. You know what I
It's a
mean? Six
lot.
it's
It's
extra
more than
mil.
he
enough.
ever had.
Yeah, it's
Right, right.
more
You
than
know what I'm saying?
right. You don't want to be a restricted free agent or unrestricted free agent. In the way this market is, the way the 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 way the teams can spend money now and staying out of the cap, it's
You,
different. It's totally different.
one thing that's funny is if he does sign, I know you better not have a bad year, Nick.
Oh no, he better not have a bad year.
Yeah, no, he can't.
He can't have a
He
bad year.
can't. He can't. Especially if they give him 18 to 20. Oh
He
yeah,
can't.
Cam finally gets signed. Cam gonna ball out, and then he don't ball out. It's over. You know what I'm saying? Torch
Yeah.
City.
He can't have. He got to hold
It's
up
over.
his
You know
part.
what's gonna happen? That's gonna be like the freaking Great Migration in reverse. People more than Leaf. You see Leaf left for Texas.
Yeah.
More niggas
Right.
gonna start going back down south and shit. Say, fuck it.
Yeah. I moved back
Maybe the
home.
slavery thing ain't too bad.
Maybe being in the field ain't gonna be that bad.
Exactly. Exactly. Because it's like, yo, this
Yeah.
up north stuff ain't happening no
It
more.
ain't working. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I like I said, I thought he was. They offered him how much? 14. I thought that was a little
Yeah,
too low.
28.
I
Yeah,
could have
it
went.
was.
I could have went with 18.
Yeah, yeah, it was low.
But
But
see,
like I
that's
said,
what,
when nobody
see, I'm
go ahead,
sorry.
LBO.
I'm sorry, Ice. I was just going to say that if they would have offered him the 18 and he would have took it, what they're afraid, like the reason that they're afraid that he didn't offer it to him is because somehow in the recesses of Sean Mark's mind, this is what I was getting to with that third of the fan base, it's the anti-Marx.
Right.
Somewhere in his mind, he's thinking that there's some free agent, there's some player who's out there who's unhappy or will be unhappy by December, and
Right.
then we'll be able to facilitate a trade
Well,
that'll
that's.
help us.
I
So we'll
understand that.
have that little bit of
He,
money and we'll be able to maybe secure a 2032 first round pick with it
and
or something.
that's what. And that's where
It's
I
like
come
we
in.
wasting all this time for that.
And that's when I come in and tell them shut up because because they don't. These net fans stop being so crucial. It takes time, man. It takes time. You need a lot of luck, and a lot of things got to fall your way for your team. You got to first find somebody that's going to be franchised for your team. You got to. It's
What do you
just the
mean by that?
like. Okay, for instance,
Player or
OKC.
coach?
Up, it can be both. I mean, you need a good coach. I think we have a decent coach. I mean, we don't know for sure. The pages are still being written about how Jordy
Yeah.
is going to coach. It's still being written as we speak.
Okay.
But we got to give him an opportunity. If
Now, what do you
you
mean, player?
now as far as player, look, you got to get lucky. Sometimes you draft, sometimes you free agent, and then whatever that the way the team is constructed,
I,
that's
I
Yeah.
just think, I just think like 80% of the time, I just think like 80% of the time, you got to have a foundational piece that's drafted.
Okay.
And the problem is, since we don't already have, since Cam is not that guy, or since, one of our rookies right now hasn't proven to be that guy. I think that when you draft, like I'm saying, like we need our Boncaro, we need our Wemby, we need our, like almost all, we need our Ja. Almost all of those guys were taken like super early and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
know.
we just need our opportunity. I'm only saying that, I'm not saying tank forever or anything. I was saying when you traded those two draft picks back and you got those two draft picks, that idea was develop and lose and develop. And then
No,
that
so
way,
you
that's what
you
it was
saying
supposed to be.
you saying basically you want the guy that you can see has that potential. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to
Yeah, yeah,
drag him
yeah,
in
yeah.
and
He's
get lucky.
not he's not LeBron right now. He's not
Right,
LeBron right now because, you know, LeBron was obvious to us, but we still didn't know.
right. But he
Because
had the
because he
buzz, he had the
played he
noise.
played at that what's that Mount St. Michael's, whatever, wherever he was at,
Right.
that Catholic school, right? I seen him play on ESPN before, but
Yeah.
his competition, it was like me playing against some freaking third graders or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
That's how he made it look though. My homeboy played against him and said that game that he played, he came back and said LeBron's strong as shit. I'm trying to tell
Yeah,
you, that's like a grown ass man right there trying to guard him.
yeah,
I'm like, bro. He's like, yeah, my
and
boy's like, he's like 6'2". I
yeah.
think Isaiah's like 6'2", played against him in high school. He's like, yeah, nah. He for real strong. Like he a grown ass man right now.
What
You know what
what
I mean?
school did your boy play for?
He was going to a local school, and then I think then he transferred to another school. I don't remember the other school that he went to, though. But
Oh,
I think
okay.
it was a private school. It was a private school.
Oh,
Mm,
okay.
okay.
I
All right.
once said I had a friend, man.
Mm.
I hope he's still alive out there because the streets kind of called him. But he he played for Oak Hill
Oh,
back in the
okay.
day, and this is like in the 70s to like 80 or so,
Okay.
late 70s to like 80.
Right.
He, I think he was probably a couple of years. Like I remember he was telling me when they first heard about Dominique Wilkins,
Right.
he had like 14 dunks in one game. And stuff, you
Wow.
know.
Wow.
So but he said at the campus, he said it's nothing but white girls there and nothing to do but either just play basketball or whatever. But he just like smoked weed all the time and you know
Like it was
never really
right.
had to come back to a local school and whatever to go to college and stuff. So kind of
Okay.
like flunked out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, but those things now, everything was back more casual then. You know what I'm
Right. Right.
saying? Now they see, if you see, you know,
Any potential in
15
it.
guys go to a school like that, that's gonna be like Mount Verdi, where freaking the whole starting five is Division 1 and stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. 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 They have a projection
Yeah,
already.
and now those schools make money.
Yeah. There's a lot of money in it now. So
Yeah, yeah.
so
Because
it's different.
because I think did McNeely go to Mount Verdi too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, McNeil. McNeil.
Yeah,
Yeah, he played with Flag and
McNeely.
all them.
Yeah,
Queen. Yeah,
yeah.
he
It
was the
was him, Flag. It's him,
Queen.
Flag, Queen, and
Asa Newell.
somebody else.
Asa Newell.
Yeah, Asa Newell. Yeah, I'm like, that's a lot of freaking guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
In the
almost a
NBA
pro
right now.
team. That's a
Yeah,
pro
they all
team.
of them in the league.
Yeah. All of them in the
Yeah,
league. Yeah. 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 When you
that's
playing for
crazy.
those schools and those kind of programs, you get
I
you know
wonder who the sixth man was.
yeah
Yeah, I don't even remember, but their team was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah
That
they
team
had
was
Yeah,
crazy.
their whole team was crazy.
yeah, that's a squad though. Because you got two. darn near 2 7-footers with McQueen and with Ace
Ace
Newell.
and Moore.
Ace
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you got freaking Cooper with all the defense.
Right. Well, I hope this works out for us. I hope it works out. It will. I have faith.
You have faith?
I have faith. I really do. I think it's going to be a decent season. I can see us winning over 30 games.
Oh gosh, I hope not.
I can see us winning over 30
Listen,
games.
20 is more than plenty.
That's all I can see, though. Just 30.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna watch because I want to see the development. But I'm gonna probably be on my college game more now this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching, but we don't have that many draft
And
picks.
that's the
So,
thing that I kept getting mad at Breezy and some of them, and Leaf too, because
yeah,
at one point, because I know Ice watches a lot of college, Pod Thorn watches a lot of college, LM watches a lot of college, and
that's
what I
true.
was saying is, and what I get mad at the other guys about is y'all don't watch no college basketball, so y'all keep just thinking of them as ain't no 18-year-old gonna come in and do all of this and that. And like, hey, sometimes at 18, they could be better than a dude that's on your squad that's 22,
That's true. That is true.
Oh, he
you
went to
know? So,
Hargrave.
so that's
Military.
what
Says my boy went to Hard when he played against LeBron. He
Oh,
played
you
at
said, did you say VMI?
Hargrave Military
Oh,
Academy.
Hargrave. Yeah,
Oh,
I know
Yeah,
that.
Hargrave. Yeah,
I know
yeah,
I
he
that.
heard
went
it.
there. That's where he went to.
I'm trying to, yeah, they had a couple of guys that were definitely college guys. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
they're definitely. I have to look them up later, man. Hargraves. Yeah.
Well, it's been 2 hours. I'm getting ready to cut. I'm gonna have to cut this up. I'm gonna have to
All
cut
right,
it short.
guys.
All right.
Thank you.
I thank
Thank you
y'all.
for indulging me, bro.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
LB, and Iceman. Thanks for
Yep.
everybody that's watching. Peace out.
All right.
Bugs.